Hi everybody, it's Kevin. It's time for your 2-minute training. Now over the last 2 weeks we've been talking about suicidology. Day 1 we gave you a little bit of some tips and hints and some numbers. Day 2 gave you a few more tips and hints. And this third one is specifically built for veteran-based suicide. I'm actually going to be going to a class myself in the next couple of weeks on veteran suicide. But as I looked at the numbers, I said we can't ignore this. We've got to get this 2-minute training out to people. Now, because again, the numbers overwhelm me sometimes, 7,900 veterans successfully completed their suicides in 2016. The government does their reports every 2 years, so the 2018 numbers are not yet out. Here comes one of those famous airplanes over Redwood Shores. I'll let it go by. The largest number of suicides within the veteran population surprised me a little bit. It was males over 50. I thought for sure it would be some of the younger kids that are coming back from conflicts and wars now, but the reality is that right now we're seeing more individuals that are male and 50 and over. Not to say that other sections aren't having their own, but just keep that in mind. I want to talk about complacency because sometimes we deal with frequent flyers. We've talked to this person over and over and over again. Well, the reality is, once you've tried suicide once, you learn something from that. Maybe you weren't successful, but then in time 2, you get a little bit better. In time 3 and 4 and 5. So if you're rolling your eyes going, hey, we've been out here and committed this guy 5 times, don't give up, because he or she has learned something from every previous attempt. Now, as I'm speaking to you now, and maybe as this airplane's going over, Beth is going to put a phone number right about here, and there is a specific veteran suicide hotline run by the VA. Now, you can get information from them as well as make that a referral number, but make sure you're checking with your agency before you ever refer somebody to a phone number, because even though this number is our U.S. government, your agency might want to keep these calls in-house rather than referring them off. But I still think it's a good number to have in your Rolodex, because that way if someone specifically calls and says, hey, I'm a veteran, I don't know where to go, I'm not looking to kill myself, but I'm really having a hard time right now, then you can give them that veteran hotline. 3 tips here. First of all, I think you'll all know, and it's not a big surprise, that most of these folks are suicidal due to what they've seen in a war situation, post-traumatic stress. There are 3 things that you can do to connect with a veteran that I wanted to share with you. First of all, respect. I don't know how much you want to go into thank you for your service, but you can thank them gently and say, but how can I help you today? You did the right thing by calling. I honor your service, but right now let me help you out. So respect is important, and thanks. Second of all, if by chance you can find out what branch of the service they are in or what their rank is, if you're able to say then, well, Sergeant, let me do this for you. Well, Gunny, let me do this for you. Well, Private, how about that? The respect of their position within the military is acknowledged, and you're still helping them out as best you can. And then care. Simple, everyday care, because they haven't turned to their mom or dad. They haven't turned to their boyfriend or girlfriend. They haven't turned to a best buddy. They've turned to you. There's a reason for that, and that's a great open-ended question. I do want to help you, but why did you choose to call us? Because maybe they're looking to get talked out of it. Maybe they are looking for help. Maybe they're just a little sympathy, looking for some sympathy or empathy or compassion. So those are some tips on veteran-based suicides. And again, when you look at that number of 7,900, of which, just to let you know, I gave you a number a couple of weeks ago, 123 people commit suicide in America every single day. 22 of those are veterans. So a fifth of the people we're dealing with every single day are veterans. If we can't get some specialized training for that, there's nothing else. So I will be giving you an update on this one in a few weeks once I go to my training. But for now, there's your 2-minute training. And go out there and make it a good shift.